That's what's happening. Okay. Make sure I can hear myself. Lovely. Hello, everybody. And happy Veterans Day. I only now realized what day Veterans Day is falling on. 11/11, how special. What's everybody been up to tonight? Or today? Or this morning for our weird time zone folks? Ain't that fun? Hi Oscar, hi Random, hi Ed. I wish I was frying bacon. Hi Mark, hi Bucket, hi Becca. Dispatch reader, how's it going? Hi Phoenix. Autocoms 9,999. Your name reminds me of Transformers. Hi Ryan. Who else am I missing? Avery, our local ketchup sponsor. Or sorry, not sponsor. Local ketchup ambassador. Taco tomato ambassador. And Jay, how's it going? Isaiah. So lovely to see you, Caroline. This veteran appreciates the stream. I've been shot at, blown up, and watched friends die, killed, and then have tried to kill me. I struggle with the streams and sounds every day. Thank you. Phoenix, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for sharing your presence with us. And happy Veterans Day to you. You are much, much appreciated, as well as any other veterans or family of that may be lurking in the chat. We thank you for being the foundation this country stands on. Thank you for your service, your presence, your honor, your character, and your strength. Howdy do. Hi Anthems of Gamora. I too am looking forward to my next French accent video. I think the next one or two will be a different accent, but there are certainly plenty of French ones coming up as well. Dispatch said, Veterans Day is always one of those days where I'm both thankful for the soldiers but depressed because the armistice signed on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, lest I forget. Could you please enlighten me as to what the armistice is? I don't know this. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Or actually, if it's like critical in nature, please tell me I'm the only one who doesn't know what that is. Never see any Veterans Day mentioned in ASMR channels. Hi Kumiko, how are you? Today's an important day. A lot of people may think it's just another holiday to write off for school or work or another bank holiday or something. Actually, I don't know. Do banks get off on that day? I don't think so. But even if it is one of those holidays, it is still important. Because the people that fight for our country in a multitude of ways more than deserve, if not at least if not the gratitude, at least the attention from everybody. But mostly respect the armistice he's referring to. Oh, World War One's. Okay. Got you. A free lunch is awesome. It's awesome. Alrighty. Today, I would like to, in service to you, bars, let this ASMR stream be led by you. Can let me know what sort of triggers or types of dialogue or activities you would like me to participate in for the sake of your enjoyment. It's always nice when you get to have a break, especially if you're a ketchup introvert. You're like, I just want it to be me, myself, and my ketchup. Have a good night, Ryan. You take care. I'm not sure it is properly themed question for today's stream, but I wanted to ask for a while. Have you ever had a religious experience? And if you don't mind, I'd love to hear the details. Religious experience. I would have to, I'm happy to answer the question, by the way. I would have to ask what you mean by that, religious experience. Most people ask if you've ever had, that was spooky, sorry. Most people ask if you've ever had a supernatural experience or like near-death experience or something like that, but religious experience, I can only help but think like a time when religion seemed like it was getting forced on me or like kind of shoved down my throat or something, but I could be misunderstanding the question. Never been called a ketchup introvert, but I love it. It's endearing, I promise. Hug, hug, hug. Also, Ed, I saw your comment that I've been sitting in the Wordle for forever. It could not be that hard. I left my computer on. I was doing other things. Like, I also washed my face before the stream. Things were taking forever, so I went ahead and multitasked. Oh my gosh, multitasked to go wash my face, because I've been cramming work task after work task today. I had an appointment. I was trying to get some videos edited. I recorded today. Had to push through some correspondences. I still have some emails left on the to-do list. And I still have a lot of homework left to do. I was chipping away at that yesterday and today. But today's been very successful, productive so far, so I'm not complaining. And I'm very happy that amongst the list of things today, I get to spend some time with you. So no complaints for sure. Also, Mark, thank you so much for sharing the pictures. I'm wondering how many of you guys the northern lights are available or visible to. I think I got a notification this morning that had said those in St. Louis, was it? Would be able to see the northern lights. Ooh, my bad. Where is St. Louis? Is that Missouri? Up north? See. It's gorgeous. Thank you so much for the pictures. It's supposed to peak on 12th. Oh, tomorrow. Neat. Hi, Luca. What's up? Good night, Anthems. You take care. Lav, have you ever heard 𝗖𝗓𝗓's brother got a season 3? Is that One Punch Man? 𝗖𝗓𝗓's brother. I heard a clinchy snack. Oh no, that's my bowl from like an hour ago. I fixed myself a bowl of chili which I cooked earlier. Oh, Becca, I miss you too. We hardly have a talk. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Ruby. Ruby said, hey, Lav, your videos have been putting me to sleep for the last couple days when nothing else worked. Thank you and keep being awesome. You keep being awesome, Ruby, and I'm so glad that they were able to help you get some rest. Rest is uber important. I'm sorry you've been struggling to do so for a while. I relate, though. So I'm glad that I can help you in a tough spot. You keep being awesome. And speaking of dinner, what did you guys have for food tonight? Since religion was mentioned, I was never closer to God than when I was in Afghanistan 2018. After a vehicle IED hit the building we were in and we were ambushed, held one of my best friends as he faded away. Oh man. Thank you for letting us share in your experience, even in the small way, Phoenix. None of us are ever gonna live through that. At least I hope. But I'm glad that we can share your experience with you. Share the memory of your best friend who also was a strong soldier fighting that day. Ground turkey. Oh. As I understand, it is experience of encountering something mystical or some otherworldly powers, including encountering the divine. I actually thought a religious person. Got it. Okay, so yeah, like a supernatural experience that's more specific to having a religious explanation. I get it. I've had plenty. To pick one for you to hear about, that's actually funny. I'm rereading your comment. Something mystical or some otherworldly powers, including encountering the divine. Encountering the divine is something that's popping out at me, because last night I had... Oh, I'm already about to tear up. Last night I had the most beautiful dream I've ever had, frankly. One second. So, here's a little personal detail. It's no secret that I've always had a significant struggle when it came to my sleep. Whether it was falling asleep or staying asleep, that's no secret, but a more personal detail that goes further than that is I have had a long list of bad dreams. More than my fair share of bad dreams. And it wasn't always like that, honestly. I swear by the fact that maybe save a few days across my lifetime, every time I would fall asleep, close my eyes to sleep, I've always dreamt. If I was asleep, I was dreaming. A dream always came when I was asleep, whether it was a little nap, a micro bat nap of 15 minutes, even a few minutes. Like, I always dream when my body is asleep. And so I have plenty of dreams by that nature, and growing up they were mostly good, you know. I think up until like when I was 17 years old, maybe 16, yeah, somewhere around there, I've always had mostly good dreams. Like, I could count the amount of bad dreams I've had on one hand, and I would remember all of them. But starting like, I don't know, when I was 17, I started to have a few bad dreams, started to have a few that I was starting to notice, like, oh, that's strange. Like, it's not jaw-droppingly strange, because I know that people in the world have bad dreams, you know, that's a thing. It's not strange in that way, but for me, I've never ever had bad dreams frequently. So I was starting to have a few, but I would always have a reason to chalk it up to, like, oh, I think I just thought too much about that movie that I watched, or I've been super stressed recently, so it makes sense that I had that type of dream, or, you know, something like that. Everything tended to have a logical explanation. But good night, reader. You take care. Sweet dreams. But sorry, I'm trying to put a timeline to things, but I guess it's really not all that important. Basically, there came a point in my life where I was having a lot of spiritual attacks, both when my eyes were open and when they were closed. And that did include like sleep paralysis type experiences. And it got so bad to the point where for like, I want to say a month straight, I was not sleeping except for the moments where like my body would literally just lights out because of sheer exhaustion, because every time I was falling asleep I was having these horrible dreams that were coming from a place of trauma and, you know, physical things that either have happened to me or like what's the word that it's not like a legitimate fear that it will happen, but you know when you get, I guess they call them irrational fears, but it's really not that irrational. It's like something that kind of stays in the back of your mind, that you're not really afraid of it, but you think about it anyway. It's like those sorts of things would keep appearing in my dreams, where my dreams would be centered around them, and it got so severe that I just didn't want to sleep. I would dread the thought of falling asleep because I knew that I would run into these dreams, or even worse, you know, have another sleep paralysis experience. And it was a really, really, really kind of frightening but mostly depressing period of my life, because I was miserable, you know, no sleep, constantly reminded of things that traumatized me, and it was terrible. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. Eventually, I got over that by the grace of God. And it's been a while since then. It's been a couple of years since then. So, since then, I've had, I'll call them normal dreams. Usually it's a mix of good and not so good, kind of like how life is, you know? Not every day is gonna seem all that special, but it's still, you know, things still happen. So my dreams have been kind of like that for the most part. Some mix of good, some mix of bad in each dream. Sometimes I would have stress dreams where like everything goes wrong, but it's not exactly a bad dream in the sense that, you know, I'm fearing something. And then every once in a blue moon I'd have like a really nice dream where like I get to spend time with someone I care about, or have a day where I just do fun stuff with someone, or my dreams are usually pretty people-centered, or I'm like, you know, I've had bad dreams for so long that I considered this type of dream a good dream, where it's like all my dreams are in some scenario where the world is ending somehow. And so a good dream is like if I'm managing to save people or bring smiles to people even though the world is ending. It's like, I guess, an optimistic sort of dream despite everything going wrong. But anyway, I give all of this to give some context and background as to why this dream was extra special to me. You had said encountering the divine, and last night I had a dream where the world was ending. Surprise, surprise. And it was like all these dark forces were making evil things happen a lot more prominently and frequently in the world. And me and my group of friends were banding together, and we decided, you know what, we're gonna travel until we find the source of all this evil. And fast forward, we ended up in like, I do not remember it being a pyramid, but I remember we were like traversing some hard terrain to get to this place. We were like in the mountains and caves and stuff, and we ended up in this tomb-like archaeological site. And when we got in this room, it kind of seemed like a tomb. Yeah, we got in this room and like everything shut down, and we started hearing these like ominous voices overhead and around us, and they were telling us like, you know, you failed, you're trapped here, and you know, you're celebrating that you found the heart of everything that's happening around the world, but womp womp, because you can't do anything even now that you're here. So it was like telling us you're gonna die and all this stuff, and I was like, guys, let's pray. And there were 4 of us from what I remember. So the other 2 friends, they sat like a few feet away, and then me and my best friend, we sat on the ground in front of each other, and we started putting our hands together to pray and closing our eyes. And I remember saying like, don't open your eyes, because these voices were like getting worse and worse and more loud and more pesky, and they were like whispering in our ears and like shouting from the ceiling like, stop doing that, because there's no use, you know. But I was just like squeezing my eyes shut, trying to persevere, and everything was getting really hot and hotter, and the ground was starting to shake. And then suddenly I started feeling a little bit lighter, and things went quiet. It was like a really fast crescendo. Like things were really, getting really, 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 really loud, and then a fast day crescendo, and then things were quiet. And I felt this hand like gently rest on my forearm and one on my back or my shoulder. And when I felt those hands, that's when things went quiet. And I felt a kiss pressed into my cheek, and like the softest. If you ever get like a cheek kiss from someone with a beard, I got that facial hair on my cheek, but it felt not prickly, comforting. Sometimes you get a kiss from someone with a beard and it feels like knives in your face if it's like super sharp stubble, but this was like a good kind of scratchy against my face, and I felt that kiss on my cheek and the comforting hands on my body, and I was like in the most peaceful kind of awe, like, what is this? And I wanted to open my eyes this time because I wanted to know, is this really what or who I think it is? Because no one makes me feel this way. Even the people I'm most comfortable with and the people I dream about would never make me feel this way. There's only one person that could make me feel this way, and so I wanted to open my eyes, but at the same time, I didn't want it to stop or to disappear, so I kept them closed. And even when I woke up from that dream and throughout my day, I continued to have lasting comfort from this moment in my dream, because there's dreams where it's just imagery and like something super nice could be comforting because it happened in your dream. You had to experience it through your dream, but this was a dream where it felt like God actually chose to comfort me with his presence in or through my dream. Like, I wasn't just imagining God in my dream. Like, it felt like it was actually Jesus there, giving me a kiss on my cheek and transporting me somewhere. And I will hold on to this dream for the rest of my life, because that is the most beautiful feeling I've ever felt, ever. But yeah, that's what I thought of when you mentioned encountering the divine. I'm gonna be honest, most of my supernatural experiences are not happy, jolly, dandy. A lot of them are on the scarier side. But there is one that is not so scary. When I was little, not like toddler, I mean like, I don't know, let's just say 13, around 13, I was the most depressed as a kid, and looking back, I always kind of smile, because I think I kind of have a cynical view of myself as a depressed kid. Like, come on, what did you have to be depressed about? Like, you had so much to be grateful for, but I'm allowed to do that because that's me. Everyone has their own reasons, valid reasons for going through depression. In my case, I'm hard on myself. But anyway, that was a very, very severe depressive period in my life, to the point where I was actually suicidal. And there was one night where, I left all the lights off. It was pitch black in my room, save the light from the street light that was like, I don't know, 30, 40 feet from the front of the house, all the way at the end of the lawn. That was like the only smidgen of light that I remember making it to my room, and the screen of my phone as I scrolled YouTube looking for song after depressing song after depressing song. I very much fed into my depression with music, and this was a night where I was listening to a lot of music about the end, I guess, making an early end for yourself. And I was just really, really down in the dumps, but at the same time, I was already at the point where I felt super numb. I felt so numb that I didn't even really feel that I was numb at all. It just was, if you know that feeling, or can imagine it. And I remember kind of talking to God in my head, because I was raised to believe in God. I was raised in a household that said God was real. I guess you could say it was a Christian household because, my parents would listen to gospel music every now and again. We had a Mother Mary statue on the piano, and the Lord's Prayer in like a book prop thing. It was like another statue, but it was a book being held by hands, and it had the Lord's Prayer on it. Also on the piano or the foyer. But other than that, oh yeah, and we would say thanks before our meals. And my dad taught me and my brother to pray before bed. We would say the same prayer, very simple, and repeat Psalm 23, and that was it. Very much a basic religious foundation as far as believing in God goes. That's why I hesitate to say, Christian household, because it wasn't really beyond that. I didn't have a relationship with God myself, not until I was an adult and explored it on my own. But when I was little, I did believe that God was real, because I thought, how could all this exist if someone didn't make it? That just made sense to me, so I left it at that. But this night, I ended up talking to God in my head because I thought, is this how you pray? I'm gonna just try it, no one's listening anyway. And I was just at that point where I felt that I didn't have anything. Thank you for the hearts. I didn't have anything else going for me, and I didn't have anything to look forward to, especially if I thought I was going to end things for myself early than just a natural death. So I thought, what do I have to lose? It's not even stupid at this point, because who cares? So I was talking to God in my head, thinking, or saying, I guess, saying, my parents say that God loves me, and if you're God and you love me, then why? I didn't even have the energy to ask why I was going through what I was going. I just wanted to fast forward and skip all that. So it was even on earth, people can choose to be good, people can choose to be bad to each other. So in my mind, I didn't make an exception for God like that. For all I knew, God could be giving me bad things on purpose too. And that's why I was feeling this way. But I didn't even care. So I just thought, even if this is true, if you're real at least, can you show me? Can you show me? Because even if you're being mean to me, which was my thought, if you are real, if this God is real, the God that loves me supposedly, you'll show me and at least give me a chance to live life proper. Like, make me live. I also knew that, in the Bible it starts with, the first book is Genesis, where it talks about the beginning of creation of the earth and the universe and man and woman and all that. And when it talks about, God crafted Adam and he gave him breath from himself, I thought, like, maybe I got the wrong breath because I don't feel like I'm living. So if you're the one that it comes from, can you give me another type beat? And I just remember a really, really bright light, like, kind of starting to glow outside my window, and like shine through my window into my room. It kind of seemed like if the moon got bigger and like decided to hang right above my rooftop. Like, it was the kind of glow you can't place your finger on. Like, even if the lamp light grew legs and walked closer to my house, it would not have been that sort of glow. But as this glow grew, I remember hearing words of peace and comfort and encouragement. And as the glow grew, I remember feeling an increased kind of sleepiness. It wasn't like, if you took a pill or melatonin, like that kind of sleepiness that leads you to sleep. It was like if sleep was a consequence of peace. A calm was settling over me the more the glow grew, and the more that calm came, the more I felt like I could let go of all the things that I was worrying about or carrying or having as a burden. And my mind was going quiet, my heart was going quiet, and I was falling asleep so consistently. And it was just such a warm, comforting, and peaceful moment that I never will forget to this day. I ended up forgetting about it for a few years, admittedly, because I got better. After that, I had this surprising, I guess, turn of heart, where even though I wanted to do better for myself before, it just wasn't there. Everything seemed so pointless, and I was angry at everything and angry at the world. The dots could never connect to me wanting to do good or better to actually making the steps to do it. Like, every time I tried it, it would just backfire. But after that, it was like my efforts actually had fruits, and I was able to take little baby steps into being a better person, managing my anger, stop hating everybody, and just learn to live normal as I could until I figured things out. But yeah, as I learned more and heard more about other people's experiences, and even prayed more about it for confirmation later as an adult, but definitely hearing other people's testimonies led me to at first wonder and then believe that that was some mix of either the Holy Spirit or an angel, or just God sending me something, whether it was an angel or just an orb of light to represent his presence, or who knows, that it was God somehow. And that was a night that my life was saved for sure, because things could have looked a lot different. A lot different. But yeah, enough about my yapping, unless you end up having questions about anything that I said. I know, I definitely talked a lot there. But I was trying to give as honest an answer as I could. I see Avery's adding another recipe to our books as far as ketchup goes. He ate ramen with ketchup and crackers. Should mix it all together. Also, howdy combat. How you doing? Mark said, my dreams have been really vivid lately, mostly work related, so that sucks. Oh man. Are they like stress dreams too? I love the word vivid, and I love what it entails, but it's not fun when it's vividly bad or vividly stressful. So I empathize with you. How's it going, Rose? I'm doing alright, how about you? Luca said, I hate it when I was having a good week and then bang, bad dream. Yeah, always put the stick in things. But hopefully things looked up after that bad dream. I always say it's not too bad having a bad dream as long as you have a bunch of good dreams. Phoenix said, I have nightmares and my natural instinct is to fight, so I wake up in a state of hyperviolence because my brain goes into self-defense mode. I hope, hopefully no one around's catching stray hands when you wake up. No, but I get that. Recently I watched someone I really care about get drunk to the point that he decided to climb up a blow-up water slide, and he lost his balance. And I watched him fall and die, so I relate to bad dreams. Wait, did you actually watch that happen, or that happened in a dream? Man. Regardless, that is a scary image, for sure. Phoenix said I stopped having good dreams altogether after my wife passed. Oh boy. As someone who thinks about both the psychology and spiritual side of things frequently, when I hear something like that, I wonder if, on the psychology side of things, someone as close to you and who would bring such happiness or joy or light or fun moments or peace or what be it, that type of partner in your life, having them around all the time, if suddenly they're just not there anymore, if there's some sort of chemical connection going on in your brains, the same ones that end up pushing you those good dreams and good emotions, if there's some connection there that gets severed or soldered or something when that person goes away. And then on the spiritual side of things, I wonder if you had such a strong connection with that person who did all those things for you and with you, that when they're gone, that they take those dreams away with them for a period of time. I wonder if that's a real consequence, or it's just the way that our body, our mind, or our spirit can cope. I think about these things. What do you guys think? Hi, Zero. Glad you could make it. Hi, Crim Sparrow. What's up? Hi, Benji. Reese, thanks for popping by. Take care, Benji. Hi, Eldon. It's the Butter King again. What's up? Congratulations, your first car. What a milestone. I know you're excited. Eldon said, I also was depressed when I was around 11 or 12. I never got medicated until I was 16. So definitely understand what you're going through. Avery said, I'm gonna ask a question. What should I do if my stepdad... What should I do if my stepdad is abusive to my sister and my mom lets him get away with it? Well, Avery, I don't know how old you are, but if you are under the age of 18 or for some reason, disadvantaged that you can't be out of the house on your own, make a situation for yourself. It is important that you get in touch, get in contact with someone, an authority that you can trust who can help you out of that situation if it's severe, like physically abusive and all that, and consistent. It's not safe for you to stay there, then make sure you're not staying there, but make sure you are safe still. But if it's abusive in another type of way, I'd still reach out to trusted authority who can help you navigate your situation, assess your situation, because especially other adults that have more experience seeing these things or have the contacts with people who do would be able to look out for you and give you some options. Not everybody's going to be able to give you an immediate solution, but at least give you some options, because at the end of the day, it is still your life and it is still your family. So it's up to you what kind of choice you're going to make, But the fact that you're saying your mom lets him get away with it, I would wonder if you're able to have a conversation with her. Just communicate what you're feeling. Give her the opportunity to explain or choose to do better and protect you guys. If she doesn't, yeah, I would definitely want to know what your options are. And if you are over the age of 18, I would be looking at resources to help you and definitely talking with people who could talk about those options with you. Because you don't want to make any hasty decisions, but you also want to protect yourself, But yeah, don't stay quiet about it. Please don't hold it in and let people get away with it, because that is not okay. And you need to be looked after proper. That ain't fair to you. Have a good one, Pandemonium. Sweet dreams. Mark said, I never figured Lav to be angry or angy, just hungry and eepy. Yeah, trust me, I get that a lot. It's kind of a funny thing. I guess I learned the hard way that there's some people that you think if they're super peaceful or wise, or they seem like they have it all together on the outside, you think they've always just had a certain countenance, or even if they had a normal amount of angry or fussy moments in their life growing up, they had enough wise moments and lessons learned to simmer that down to make them not an angry person. But in my case, I was one of those people where I hit an all-time high of just hating and being angry at everything. So I guess I managed to hit the top hard enough that it brought me all the way back down. Like I've been there, so I know where I don't want to be, and that's there. And I know how to keep myself from being there, and the reason why it's pointless to be there, basically. So kind of a funny thing. I still remember what it was like to feel that way. It doesn't have to be rational. And even the times where it just feels like the better option to choose to be angry. But yeah, I'm very, very grateful to be liberated from that yucky cloud of emotions. I don't want to hate people. Hating people sucks. I much prefer being able to see the beauty and the love and everything, and loving on people, and it be genuine and not pretending. Does that tattoo say 2012? What happened in 2012? My tattoos do say 2012. Or 2012, yeah. Same reason the thumbnails say established in 2012. It's not necessarily a marker of a year. It's more symbolism. In short, there was a time where there was me plus another very important person and figure in my life that it was a major falling out, and due to that consequence left me broken. Very, 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 very broken. And that's what that 0 represents, because it felt like I had nothing again. I was back at square one. And then, taking the steps to build myself up again, I ended up securing myself, and that's what that 1 represents. That's just me. It's just me figuring out how to make myself whole again. And then whole enough to hopefully find that number 2 again. And I feel like that's a story that a lot of people can relate to, and that's why I wanted to keep that reminder in all of my content. That's why that established 2012 is a stamp I put on everything, including myself. Oscar said, I was asking because I thought, that's beautiful, thank you for sharing. Basically, yeah, religious experience is an intense feeling of presence of God or divinity in general. I was asking because I thought a lot about the closest thing to religious experience that I've encountered. Oscar, I'd love to know what your experience was too, especially since you asked that question, if you care to share. Oh man, sorry. Hi Alina, what's up? Also, Eternal, what the heck? Labby looper pooper scooper. eyes are starting to burn. We might have to call it within the hour. Dispatch said, Avery, not everything can last as they do. To make more good times out of the bad, or at the end of bad times, you gotta have a bit of faith and do what's best for you. You have to protect your sister. Eldon said, though I do warn Dispatch there's some risk, as if they don't find anything apparent, now you're left with an angry abuser knowing you tried to report them. Dispatch said there's always a risk regardless. If it escalates anyway, not having that initial report is a problem. This is true. Hi Elias, it's good to see you again. How are you? And hey Roni, glad you could pop in. Also, divorced parents where one uses CPS as a way to swat the other one is absolutely crazy and very immature. Assuming there was no, reason to be calling CPS otherwise. That's terrible. Question, are you gonna do a live on Friday? Is there something on Friday? Am I missing something? Let me check my calendar. Okay, I don't think so. There's nothing on Friday. If I can, I will. That's the short answer. If I can, I will. Things have still been very crazy and I still have a lot to catch up on, but if I can, I will. I would love to. Oh, more Northern Light pictures. Oh man, I got hiccups. That's exciting. That southern accent came out of laughing. It'll all make sense soon. Laugh, you keep going in and out of a southern accent. Yeah, I was noticing it, but I wasn't about to stop and say something about it. Figured you guys could hear it too. Odin said, honestly, I remember when I was socially isolating. I still sort of am, but that hatred and anger made me not feel sad or upset. So it can be used well as a tool, but it eats you alive over time. For sure. It's one of those things where if you decide to lean into it, the motivation core type stuff, they say go cold in order to be your most productive or something like that. It's one of those things, you can use it as a tool, but it's not a long-term thing. That'll be very damaging. Dispatch said anger used as a tool of motivation is better than letting it sit, fester, unused. I'd say this can be true. Can't always trust everyone to use anger as a tool of motivation, because that could end up very badly, but I can mostly agree with that, yeah. Yeah, no, they just sort of did that. Yeah, that's terrible. That's really petty. It's how it sounds anyway. I mean, you usually do on Fridays. Yeah, when I do stream, it is usually on a Friday. This is true. But I don't stream every Friday. I'd love to, though. So I guess we'll see. Connor, hi. How are you doing? Connor, I would like to inform you that thanks to you, this afternoon, which was basically like morning to me, this afternoon when I saw my mom, she greeted me with a conversation about reading the comments on the recent community post about merchandise. And she was like, everyone is so cute. You know, offering their opinions and saying their support and, you know, saying what they would like and things like that. Everyone is so cute. And then she laughed. She laughed at your comment, like, especially that one person who said, I just want a body pillow, or like body pillow one. And she was laughing, but then in the same breath, she was like, I think you should do it. That's a great idea. Had a good laugh thanks to you. I was like, yeah, that's Connor being funny. Mark said, what were you editing, love? Something that I will post right after the end of the stream. You can't tell, but I'm winking. It's being stupid. I'm winking. The mouse said, hey Lav, I'm sorry if the comments I'd posted about my mom being sick and all that were team. I just needed to get it off my chest. I remember you full and well, mouse, and you are a-okay. I understand things get to be a lot, so you are okay. Don't you worry. Thank you. And I hope you're doing better now, and hopefully blaming yourself a lot less. And I hope your mom's doing okay too. Eldon said, I did that suppression and use of anger for about 3 to 4 years, then had a mental breakdown, and now I quite literally can't suppress anymore. So I'm forced to feel everything, and petty is my parents. 0. Oh. I love you guys. You guys are precious. Hey Lav, I'm doing good. How are you? And oh no. Yeah, you got caught in 4K by my mom. How do you feel about that? Random dude said, when I lacked a social circle, was emotional, lonely, and did not do any self-reflection on my role in my suffering, I assumed everyone was shallow. These are words of wisdom. I can relate to this too. I think one of my problems at a point though was even after managing to reflect more on my own role and my own suffering, I was like very well aware of it. Like I could just choose to think differently, but why isn't it working? And so eventually I realized, oh, okay, I can't just like tell myself, don't think this way. I have to like replace it with something else. So my bit by bit thing was things will be a lot easier if I just laugh at everything or like find everything funny. Like then I would be happy, right? It seemed so simple, so I decided to go with that. I know it was stupid to a degree, but it was a lot better than what I was feeling at the time, so I thought, well, we can just start there. And I thought, well, isn't that kind of bad if like I laugh at everything or I train myself to find everything funny? Because then, you know, there's dark humor, of course, but if someone just died or someone just said that their mom just died, then I'm not gonna laugh at that, I'm gonna be crazy and I'm gonna be heartless. So I did have to find a happy medium, but I think I managed to do that by just going the full extreme and then dialing myself back within reason. So that's how I ended up going about that. Mark said, oh yeah, I forgot to comment on the loungewear, and a body pillow would be fantastic. Oh, getting squished. I love the idea of a body pillow. I still dream of the day that that can happen. Oh yeah, that's Connor. He's just a DJ. No. Lucas said I want the body pillow too. Okay, we're all brigading on this idea. Got it. Roni said Vets Day is an interesting day for me since it's my mama's birthday, so I always tended to forget about it, but sometimes I need to take a moment to remember its meaning. Also, happy birthday to Mama Roni. Now I can say it verbally. Now said, yeah, my mom's doing better. She has COVID, but she's been better. Sounds like that COVID test your uncle brought ended up being handy. That's nice, at least you know what you're combating. I've just been watching Friday the 13th with her right now, on Friday the 13th, part 17. Wait, there's that many parts to it, oh my gosh. Didn't you say you were watching like Scream 4 or Scream 6, something like that? Is your mom a horror fan, or you guys are just on like a binge? Oyasumi dispatch. You take care. Oyasumi nasai. Mata ne. You have a good rest. Laughter is the shock absorber of life. Ain't that the truth? Puckett said, oh, so Lab's laughing at my jokes to make herself feel better and not because I'm actually funny. This changes everything. Okay, very, 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 very funny. No, I've come a long way since then. Everything I laugh at, I genuinely have joy in. Unless it's very obviously one of those, like, I don't know what you call that, social buffer. Pity laughs? No, not a pity laugh. Social buffer for sure. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, my laughter is completely genuine. And notice how I said learn to find everything funny, or learn to find the humor in everything. That's better. Learn to find the humor in everything. Then you can swallow even the biggest of pills. Like Mark said, laughter is the shock absorber of life. Some would say laughter is medicine. All that sort of stuff. Avery said, I love Friday the 13th, but it always makes me crap myself. Oh, the emoji is so funny. Also, if you're crapping yourself, it's okay. Just take a spoonful of ketchup. It'll make the crapping go away. Bars. Just kidding. Eldon said, oh no, your mother knows I'm broke. It's okay, because remember, we're broke together. And yeah, I've also had falling outs with friends. I liked this girl for not 7 years, and her friends insulted me, and we had a falling out. So I cut everyone. Oh. Her friends and her included? Oh, that stinks. I'm curious though, was it her too, or just her friends? That would suck if like you really like someone and all of their friends are toxic to you. It would really make you have to choose. Like, is it worth it? Or am I gonna be able to get through to that person about their friends, or something along those lines? Oscar said, I'm assuming about your experience. Basically, once I randomly had an urge to go out for a walk in a rain to a closest park. At some point I felt like something talking to me in my head, something that I immediately recognized as God. Or as a God. Not a Christian God, though. Oh. I never had problems with hallucinations, but it felt way more significant than my imagination. I can't confidently say that was a religious experience because usually it makes a huge impact to a person, which didn't happen to me. I see. That is interesting for sure, and I like that you were paying attention, not just listening, but paying attention to like the details of your experience to really feel out, I guess, what it seemed like it was coming from. I have no way of knowing how you differentiated that it would be a God or specifically not a Christian God or something. My assumption based on that would be like it was telling you to do bad things, or it wasn't saying good things, or it was just like yapping in your ear or something. I don't know. But like, that is really interesting. I've heard a lot of people have similar experiences to that. I relate to that too. But oftentimes in those situations I would like have a mental debate, constantly trying to measure who I was hearing. And I always do that. I always try to measure, is this me to myself? Is this a hallucination? Or am I going crazy? Are these voices? Or like, I don't know, is there a demon in my brain right now? Whispering in my ear? Or is this God's voice? Or the Holy Spirit or something like that? I always measure because thankfully, if you're trying to figure out if it's God or the Holy Spirit, the Bible tells you how to make sure if it's His voice. And if it's not, then it's not, and it's something else. I will say, in the event that there's like bad things whispering in your ear or your brain, like, it's not always something that seems inherently evil. Sometimes it's just a distraction. Sometimes it's just to get you in a certain headspace or in the right place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right time, There's a variety of reasons, and for that reason, people's experiences vary a lot. Nice one, Ronnie. Mal said originally I was, but we finished the Scream movies, but then started Friday the 13th, and I'm just starting to get into slashers now. Oh boy. Not the slashers. Random dude said, I dialed up the extreme by listening to motivational videos that basically say if you don't lift that weight, your family dies and no one's coming to save you. Hold on. I have the perfect video if I can find it. There's this guy who his content is he's notorious for having no facial expression. He's like constantly straight-faced. And he does one of those videos where it's like the thoughts in your head as you're working out. Oh my gosh, can I please find it? Every time I want to refer to it, it's so hard to find. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I've actually referred to it before, but I don't know if anyone who was there at the time is here now. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? gosh. Oh my gosh, I can't find it. It's like he has long hair, tannish brown skin. He always is known for like always having a straight face. I can't even go in my history to search workout because I like watching workout content that would not simmer things down at all. Oh my gosh, there's so much oversaturation of content. All these brain rots and AI videos can't even see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, YouTube is going down the toilet. Going down the toilet. Going down the toilet. Shit. Maybe ChatGPT can help me find the video. If it can't, then I'm gonna give up. I'll just have to look for it another day. Oops. I'll have to take it back. I'll have to put a rain check on that and come back to you guys when I find that. Anyway. Bacon frying intensifies. See you, Oscar. Take care. Thanks for making it fun time. Lucas said, wait, is the pizza guy audio coming tonight? You said something about editing right now, so... Well, okay, I need your guys' help because that was supposed to be the audio that I posted on the last night of October. Considering the season. but I feel like that was kind of the whole premise of it. Like, everyone's doing something tonight, and I don't want you to feel left out because you're choosing not to celebrate like everyone else, so let's do this. That was the premise of it, which I guess could still be applicable in a different way. I just would have to make some adjustments, but if you guys still want that audio now, I could definitely really like make the timing different. Can't wait for that birthday audio. Hope you didn't forget. For sure, of course not, Ed. And I don't remember if I responded, but I did get your requests as far as fingers through the hair and things like that. I did get that. I got you. See you, Eldon. You take care. Make it Thanksgiving instead of Halloween. Yeah, that sounds about right. I had another audio planned for the Thanksgiving thing, but who says we can't do two? So that's a good idea. I think we'll go with that. Yeah. And we're gonna end up concluding streams soon, so I do want this to taper off with a more calm vibe. Not that chatting with you guys hasn't been calm, but just something a little more easy on the ears. If that is all the same to you. I'm gonna clip you right there, hope you don't mind. Yeah, as much as I would love to stick around, I got heck of homework. And I still need to post that audio for our folks on Patreon, so still got things to do before it hits midnight. Go easy on me, baby. Dun. Is that you requesting without requesting? There ain't no gold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever. I know there is hope in these waters, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence, baby. Let me in. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose who I what I chose to do. So go easy on me. Good night, rest easy, Zero. There ain't no room for how things have changed when we are both so deeply stuck in our ways. You can't deny how hard I've tried. I changed who I was to put you both first, but now I give up. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. Had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me, on me. I had good intentions and the highest of hopes, but I know it now, it probably doesn't even show. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, I didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me. So go easy on me. I am not familiar with Five Nights at Freddy lore past very, very basic things. Who is Ballora? Thank you so much, guys. You know, I heard, is it Naruto? This, the anime that the song Bluebird comes from. I always loved that song. But I heard an English version recently that I thought was so fun. So fun. And I wondered if I would be able to make it into like a lullaby version. I just wondered it though. I didn't actually try it, so guess we'll try it. I think you'll know the song. If you don't know it by the name, you'll know it when I sing the tune. I don't know whether to go low or high though. And when I fall apart, and when my head is in pieces, you pull me out the dark. Yeah, okay, I can't. My voice is breaking already. Let's just go higher. And when I fall apart, and when my head is in pieces, you pull me out the dark. Always you and me, you and me. Always you and me, you're my dynamite. you sadness is like. I really need your embrace. I'm like a moth to a flame. But when my feelings with you, I'm no longer confused. I'm teary-eyed, but with you they start to dry. It's only you, you're my everything. You get me through so comfortably. You got a good heart, more than enough. You see through my scars. And when I fall apart, and when my head is in pieces, you pull me out of the dark. Always you and me, you're my dynamite. Oh, you're my guiding star. And when my eyes lose direction, you pull me out of the dark. Always you and me, you're my dynamite. Did you guys recognize that song or not so much? Or would it help if it was in Japanese?悲しみにはまだ覚えられず、切なさは今つかみ始めた。あなたへといた感情も今言葉に変わってく。未知なる世界の夢から目覚めて、この羽を広げ飛び立つ。羽ばたいたら戻らないと言って目指したのは白いあの雲。突き抜けたら見つかるとして振り切るほど青いあの空。青いあの空。青いあの空。愛想尽きたよ窓で錆びれた古い窓は壊れた。見飽きた顔しててく。振り返ることはもうない。もうない高鳴ることに呼吸を預けて、この窓を蹴って飛び立つ。駆け出したら手にできると言って誘うのは遠いあの声。眩しすぎたあなたの手を握って求めるほど青いあの空。落ちていくと Has someone watched Tokyo Ghoul? That's my favorite. Seriously, all-time favorite. Holy, holy, Do you know the opening song? Do you guys want to sing it with me? It honestly stoked me so much because the TK who's singing that song is in a band that I really adored at the time. 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗔𝗖𝗧. And after Tokyo Ghoul, I was like, I listened to it even more. Unravel, yeah, Unravel, precisely. Good night, Avery. Hope you have super sweet banana ketchup dreams. You take care. Sweet dreams. God bless you. I hope you enjoy it. Unravel can get pretty deep if you allow yourself to like it and not, or be open-minded to it and not think about all the horrible things people say about it. I really like Tokyo Ghoul. Unfortunately, it does not hold up to the hype of the first season as it continues on. I'd say the first 2 seasons are good enough, and then no mas. I didn't even finish Tokyo Ghoul Re, that's how I feel about it. Which kind of sucks because I remember waiting for it for so long. 教えてよその仕組みを僕の中に誰かいるの壊れた欲の世界で君が笑う何も見えずに壊れた僕なんてさ息を止めてほどけないもうほどけないよ真実さえ Freeze 壊する壊さないくるるくるないあなたを見つけて揺れた歪んだ世界にただ僕は好きと思って見えなくなって見つけないで僕のことを見つめないで誰かが描いた世界の中であなたを気づけたくないよ覚えてて僕のことを鮮やかなまま無限に広がる孤独が絡むる無邪気に笑った記憶が刺さって動けない動けない動けない動けない動けない動けないよ Unraveling the world変わってしまった彼らの中二つが絡むる二人が滅びる壊する壊さないくるるくるないあなたを怪我せないよう 風jak na mama 忘れないで忘れないで忘れないで忘れないで変わってしまったことにパラダイス枯れれないことだらけのパラダイス覚えてて僕のことを教えて教えて僕の中に誰かいるのI think I'm in love think I'm in love think I'm in love Oh Your hands on my chest and let's go Aurora borealis, aurora skies. I made a promise to distance myself, took a flight through aurora skies. Honestly, I didn't think about how we didn't say goodbye. Just see you very soon. It hurts to be something, it's worse to be nothing with you. So I didn't call you for 16 long days, and I should get a cigarette for so much restraint. No matter how long I resist temptation, I will always lose. It hurts to be something, it's worse to be nothing with you. I've done the math, there's no solution, we'll never last. Why can't I let go of this? So I broke my promise. I called you last night. I shouldn't have, I wouldn't have, if it weren't for the sight of a boy who looked just like you standing out on Melrose Avenue. It hurts to be something, it's worse to be nothing with you. to be nothing with you. Seems like you guys really like the Lofi. Swore I'd seen you before, watched you walk through the door. Something in your eye reminded me of somebody I used to know. You touch my back, I took your hand. Something from your touch felt shockingly familiar, and I swore I'd seen you before. Oh, I swore I'd seen you before. Underneath the sheets, you enchanted me and whispered sweet nothings in my ear. I shivered beneath you, all wrapped up in embers. It was a night to remember. See you, mouse. Good night. Then I walked away. You asked me to stay. Well, you're thinking of what could have been, but you've become someone I've seen before. I swore I'd seen you before. Underneath the sheets, you enchanted me and whispered sweet nothings in my ear. I shivered beneath you, all wrapped up in numbers. It was a night, enchanting night to remember. Alright, I'll do one more Lofi song. Just one. Feeling kind of sick tonight. All I've had is coffee and leftover pie. It's no wonder why. you care like I do. I should stop. Heaven knows I've tried. One day I will stop falling in love with you. Someday someone will like me like I like you. Until then I'll drink my coffee, eat my pie, pretend that we are more than friends. Then of course I'll let you break my heart again. I'm just trying to understand what I am to you, more than songs we've exchanged, midnight calls, sunset views. Promise I don't mean to cry, but I get overwhelmed and confused. If only you knew what I felt like. One day I will stop falling in love with you. Someday someone will like me like I like you. Until then I'll drink my coffee, eat my pie, pretend that we are more than friends. Then of course I'll let you break my heart again. Someday, one day, I will stop falling in love with you. Until I do, I'll be thinking of you. Let you break my heart again. What a warm feeling. Somehow, someday, I'm not sure. Oh, something, somehow, someday. There's one song I know I've liked by him, and that's Hello, but I don't think I've heard this song. He's a loose cannon, foolish man, he needs some medication. She's a shoe-tied, blue sky, honeymoon vacation. He's a fixer, for skipping supper, hates an obligation. She's a Friday night. He's a bad dream, nicotine, druggy complication. She's a peace sign, tea time drinker on occasion. He's a conversation, she's a welcome sound. But I believe they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. Yeah, I believe they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. He's a Ford truck, door shut, runs from conversation. She's an open ear souvenir, reads the situation. He's another record shop, on occasion. She's a night in Rome. He's a piece of work, dirty shirt, needs evaluation. She's a pinky up, pixie cut with plenty motivation. He's a whiskey drinking, berry thinking, got no destination. She's a plane ride home, and I believe they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. Yeah, I believe they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. Yes, ma'am. Hey, Frosted. Oh, I believe they're meant to be. I said I believe they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. Yes, it's clear to me they're meant to be something, somehow, someday. Something, somehow, someday. Something, somehow, someday. That's a lovely song, I like that. Alright, guys. Oh, sorry. Sing maybe 2 more songs and then we all go weemies. There's a song that I really like called Paris. Not because I'm French. Next time I pull out the guitar, I'd love to sing this guys to you. Again. There's the first strum. Let's fall in love and sing French songs in the rain, smoke cigarettes and get drunk on champagne. Let's laugh so loud that the neighbors complain, spend our days scratch our names on the church walls and bells, empty our pockets on all black Chanel. Quittons, quittons, quittons. Oh, I know, quittons, my baby, I'm falling for you. I know, Quittons, my baby, I'm falling for you. What you got, Mew? You got our last song? Going home in the back of a car, your hand touches mine, and we're done making love, and you look up and give me those eyes. 'Cause all of the small things that you do or would remind me why I fell for you. And when we're apart and I'm missing you, I close my eyes and all I see is you and the small things you do. When you call me at night while you're out getting high with your friends, by every I love you you ever said. 'Cause all of the small things that you do are what remind me why I fell for you. And when we're apart and I'm missing you, I close my eyes and all I see is you and the small things you do. When we're done making love and you look up, give me those eyes. 'Cause all of the small things that you do are what remind me why I fell for you. And when we're apart the small things you do. All the small things you do. Alright, I promised you had the last one. In advance, good night, sweet dreams, you guys. God bless, take care, have a wonderful rest tonight. In the west shall rise a sinister creed. The rich will get what they want, the poor will lose what they need. The devil knows our fears. He told all his friends they'll block the sun with their lies as darkness descends. Oh Lord, the great collapse won't be our end. When the world falls into the flames, we will rise again. We will rise again. Let the wars begin. We'll keep our pistols near. Our neighbors frail and thin as they disappear. Let the chaos come. Let our houses freeze. The lights will all go out, but we'll finally see. Collapse won't be our end. When the world falls into the flames, we will rise again. We will rise again. Oh yes, when the sky is cleared and the storm has passed, we'll walk on